downtown. Been there for a while now. I got to be honest with you. The weatherman says 20 degrees, not too far off that. On the other hand, I said 22 degrees, and it's a bit of a struggle to get there. Barbara says 23, so it's going to be an interesting day today. It really is. Monday, coming into a brand new week. And I tell you what, I'm being generous. I'm going to give you Friday off. Everybody can have Friday off here in New Zealand. Just say Grant said so, all right? And just to double down on that, let's make it an extra long weekend. Give you Monday off as well. We'll call it Easter. What do you reckon? Great idea. For everybody that's joining us on Facebook Live right now, thank you so much. We're coming back again and joining here at Galaxy today. We've got, and believe me, I'm absolutely elated, Charles Parker is joining us. Yes, coming from a new location in Florida right now, and believe me, looking forward to catching up with Charles. But for those of you that are going to be watching this a little later on over on YouTube, you know what to do, right? Yeah, sub, thumb, bell, bingo. And the reason for bell, you know, notifications for when we do important stuff like this. And believe me, this is a great one. It is, because it's been almost a year now, I think just over a year since we caught up with Charles. And it's nice to see he's brought his Willie along with him. It's always pleasurable to see Willie. That's the dog too, by the way, in case you were wondering. And we're going to kick it off. Well, I tell you what, let's do this. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Anthony Ligori is joining us. Nice to have you on board, my friend. Looking forward to meeting up with you in the very near future. And of course, you know, later on, after we do the Charles Parker interview, later today, we're catching up with absolute legends. Yes, they really are legends. The Hammond brothers are going to be joining us. Looking forward to that too. And believe me, they're in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, they've even played at the Grand Ole Opry. But in the meantime, let's kick this off, and believe me, we've been playing this for a little while now. We really haven't said much. We've had a lot of people wanting to know who, what, why, when, and how. Today we're going to answer each one of those questions. Here's the story of our lives, Charles Parker. So that gives us a minute or two to relax. How are you feeling, Charles?
I'm good. I'm watching Barbara's live feed right here.
He's watching himself.
Background.
So you're watching yourself watch yourself?
Yes, he likes
I'm
the
watching
background.
myself watch myself.
In the background.
Good gosh, I hope you don't make too much of a habit of that.
Yeah, I wish that was my house. That's a pretty cool background.
That is a cool background. It really is. It really is. Especially if the bar is fully stocked. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes, yes. Man, Skype does a lot.
Don't they? Yeah, I like that. I'm happy with my background, though. I've got to be honest with you.
There's Barbara. I see Barbara now.
Oh, you see?
She's fixing her hair.
What else is new? The pretty
Just
ones
moved down south, and you said what, it's 23 degrees over there? 17 degrees?
17 degrees right now. If inside here in the office, it's 82.5 F.
Okay, yeah, it's like 90, 88, 90 degrees here.
Yeah, well, comfortable then.
Way hot. So.
Yeah, you wouldn't be that used to the heat.
No, well, I mean, up north right now, it's still sort of winter, you know? It's probably in the 50s, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been pretty warm down here all week.
Do you play golf?
No, not yet, but I'm willing to learn.
Okay, well, I've actually had a round or two in Florida with some friends of mine, and I actually walked off the golf course. Yeah.
Well, let me know when you're heading over this way.
Oh, well, yeah, I will do. But the reason why I walked off the golf course was that big log hissed at me, and I'd had enough of that. I'm out of here. I hit the ball right up to it. I'm just walking up, and these guys are going, you know, that's a gator, eh? And I'm going, oh, shit, is it?
Yeah,
Never seen one before, you see. So, I'm going, meet you at the 19th. True story, yeah. Woo, don't like gators. Especially the ones that hiss at you.
Yeah, we don't have them here.
Apparently they can move too.
Yeah.
I heard they're pretty fast.
Yeah, no, but, well, you see, the older I get, the slower I get, so, well, that's what I keep telling my wife. She never chases me anyway, so.
Yeah.
There's always hope, I suppose. Brandon Waters joining us. Very, very cool. Nice to have you on board, Brandon. Thank you for joining us here at Galaxy. It is an absolute pleasure, because today we're releasing two, not one, two brand new Charles Parker songs. Charles, I want to talk to you at some stage about your KISS shows and all your shows that you're doing in Florida. I hope you've got a bit of work going on down there.
Not so much. I just got here, so I'm looking around for some places. And the strange thing is, I left Baltimore to come here because Florida is basically a free state. It's wide open. People are living their lives.
Hang it. I'm sorry to interrupt. We've got about 10 seconds.
Okay.
Hold on. That's right, you're right, here at Galaxy 107 FM, and it is an absolute pleasure to catch up with our good friend Charles Parker. And believe me, moving from Baltimore, literally, all the way down to Florida, he says it's not a heat thing, he didn't go down there to keep his old bones warm or anything like that. I don't believe him. I think he did. Besides, you can work. Really, everything in Maryland right now is fairly tight if you're an artist. So believe me, you go where the work is. I understand that. And Charles, welcome back to Galaxy.
It's good to be back. It's been a long time, Grant.
It really, really has. And it was good to see Willie as well. Believe me, I'm a big fan of Willie. So it's nice to see.
Billy, yeah, he's still around. He's here. He's in Florida with me.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't leave him behind the house sit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that wouldn't have worked out for him.
Yeah, no, believe me, you'd come back to a wrecked couch at least. Maybe. Yeah. But you are down in Florida right now. Only been there for a number of weeks. Are you looking at getting some work in while you're down there?
Yeah, I'm looking. It's like being the new guy in the area. They don't care about any of this Nashville stuff. They don't care if their songs on the radio. They don't care about any of this. They just say, send me a YouTube video of you playing live. So I've been running into all that, but it's all new. I just got here, and the strange thing is, I left Baltimore because we were basically shut down. We did a few shows here and there, but all the big stuff, all the concerts and events were all canceled or postponed. And Florida was wide open. Bands were playing nonstop in Florida. So I came down here to do that. Well, all of a sudden, now things are starting to open up north, and I'm getting shows there and starting to book things. So I'll have to head back up and do some shows all summer. But I'll be back and forth in between.
Yeah, I see Texas is pretty free right now too. They'll be opening up and doing shows there too, won't they?
That's what I hear. Yeah, Texas was one of the first that decided, that it was time to knock off this craziness and, live like a free state again, I suppose.
Yeah, there's nothing like trying to get back to normal. I got to be honest with you. Believe me, here in New Zealand, we are sort of normal, but unfortunately, you see, for people like us who bring bands into the country, still there's restrictions which we are trying to get through as fast as possible. We really are. We want to be able to entertain people. Even though the Prime Minister sees it fit to be able to bring in the Lion King or the Wiggles or something like that. I think it's about our kid, really, to be honest. I do. But, we're not doing too bad. We actually had a huge show over the weekend. One of the big bands here in New Zealand, 660, just cleaned it up. They really, really did. Things are starting to feel right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Any of the shows, we did a KISS tribute show a few weeks ago, and it was still at 50% capacity, but it was sold out. And everything these days are pretty much sold out because of the capacity limits. So you never have to worry about filling a place anymore because it's only 50%, and it's working out okay. I'm guessing for the venues, it's not as great as it should be with only half capacity, but it's getting there.
Well, I tell you what, and I used to have, you remember the AIDS epidemic back in the day where everybody was saying you needed full body condoms. Well, I bought a truckload. I've been able to sell a few on the interwebby thing because these days what I've done is I've put in some air conditioning. So that takes care of your, your separation of anything. Just put on one of these full body condoms, open up the air conditioning, you'll be fine, you will. And we'll get back to concert. It's just weird, sort of this bubble thing, crowds of bubbles everywhere. Looks weird, I've got to be honest, but it works.
whatever it takes. Let's just get back.
Yeah, believe me, and folks, believe me, if you believe that, I've got a bridge for sale. Okay, situated in Auckland too, by the way. It goes cheap. It will do. Lynette Gillies is joining us. Nice to have you on board, Lynette. We today are talking to Charles Parker. Today, coming out of Florida. Now, Charles, at the same time, you haven't sold your house in Baltimore?
No, it's still there.
Okay, so you've got a place to go back to.
Oh yeah. I'm just, just sort of a transition period. I figured it'd take a year or so to, get from one place to the next. I play a lot of shows up there. Well, I used to anyway before this pandemic stuff. So, 150, 200 shows a year. So I need to kind of transition that down here in the South, and hopefully that, that comes together next year.
Sure, I get that. I really, really do. But while you've not been doing shows, have you been writing? Have you been recording?
A little bit here and there. The 2 songs I sent you, the first one, "Story of Our Lives," is the one you just played. That went out maybe just less than a month ago, out on all the Spotify's and iTunes and places like that. And then there's a second one that you have that hasn't been released yet. So you're the only one that hasn't.
Well, I feel very, very privileged, not only for the story of our lives, and I want to get into that, but also for the unreleased Look to the Sky that we're going to play very, very shortly. But first of all, let's go back through Story of Our Lives. How did you come to the lyrics of that?
That was just something that I had years ago, and I never did anything with it. So I went back to, just kind of like the old demos and found that. And the same with the Look to the Sky, and just redid it all. Went to the studio and put it all together. And, I don't know. I don't really know. I put it out to my PR company over at Music City Media in Nashville, and they kind of came up with an idea of it was sort of like you were sort of chasing after someone, but she never let you catch her, and that's the theme that they came up. That's what they thought the story was behind that song. I never really knew. I just kind of wrote the song, and it was just what it was. I never put that much thought into it of what the song's really about, but that was their interpretation. So I'm going to go with that interpretation. It sounds good.
I love it. I really, really do. And believe me, my friend, we have been playing it. We just haven't said anything to anybody, and everybody wanted to know, literally, who did it, what the moral behind the story was, which we've just explained, and when are we going to find out more about it. So there you go, we've done that. Now, Charles, at the same time, being in Florida, believe me, it's a very, very cool place to go. Are you taking in any events yourself? Are you going out and mixing and mingling?
I've gone out to see some bands over the last week, just to see live music. I actually got here on Monday, and Thursday I played a show. A friend of mine called me and wanted me to fill in for him, so I actually did an acoustic show, first one here since I've been down. So that didn't take too long. I've been here a couple of days and already had a first show. I've gone out to see some bands and gone out to, try to book some shows. And heading out to the beach tomorrow. We have this beach right down the street from the house called Siesta Key, which they say is like the best beach in the world. That's what they say. I don't know. I'll have to see tomorrow.
I debate that, literally. When somebody says it's the best in the world, well, you see, for me, I want to take in every beach in the world just to be able to compare it, to find out whether that's true or not. And believe me, we've got some really pristine beaches here in New Zealand too. So I think we could give you a run for your money, but something...
Sure. Everybody says that. It's the number one crab cake in the world. It's the number one pizza in the world. The number one cheesesteak in the world.
Exactly.
It's just their selling point.
Yeah, exactly. Believe me. And well, always open for debate. I love somebody who says it's the best in the world, because I'm the type of guy that will say, okay, let's talk about that. You know what I mean? Let's prove that. Tina is joining us. Hi, Tina, and big love to Angel from us here at Galaxy as well. Thank you for joining us this morning. And believe me, it's an absolute pleasure to have you. Now, Charles, we have a song here that you say to me that nobody else in the world's got or playing right now. This excites me. It really, really does. Look to the Sky. Tell me a little bit about this.
This was another one that was back in the day, years ago, that was written. It was a demo. It was never released. It was never really recorded. And actually, I sent it over to a guitar player friend who played on the demo back in probably late 90s, early 2000s. And he came up with this cool new guitar part for it. So we decided, well, let's go back in the studio and re-record it. So I went back in and re-sang and replayed all the instruments. And, it's just, you never know what you have. You have all these songs that you just put away and you never think about them, you never release them, and then you kind of go back and you find them after all the years. So it's sort of the lost songs, the lost tapes, the lost treasures, whatever you want to call them. And these were two, and there was a third one, but we didn't do anything with that one yet. So it could happen. But like I said, this has not been released. So my PR company decided that let's just release one single at a time. So we released Story of Our Lives last month, and Look to the Sky is still unreleased. We're not even sure when it's going to come out. So, even though you hear it today on your show, this is the only place you can hear it. So, you can't search YouTube, you can't any iTunes or Spotify or anything like that and find it because it just doesn't exist. So they have to call you, Grant, in order to hear the song.
I love that. I do. What a burden. Having to call me to get a hold of a song, believe me. And I am so privileged. I really, really am. I really humbly thank you, Charles. I really, really do. And you know something? On top of that, it's good. It's really good. Check this out. Look to the Sky. Here's Charles Parker here at Galaxy. I'm sweaty. It's warm in here. It really is. Tina says, hi everyone. Nice to have you on board, Tina. We did a show yesterday with a company coming out of Germany called Jorg's World. And we had Steve Lynch. Do you remember him from Autograph?
Autograph, yeah.
Yep. We had him and we were having a chat to him and he goes, because we were talking to him about his book that he's writing right now. And Confessions of a Rock Star, rock guitarist. And I said to him, come on, Steve, you really wouldn't have anything to confess, would you? Oh dear, that opened the floodgates. Dear, oh dear, that was funny. We should introduce Charles to York. Yeah. I think we should.
We'll just write out a list of everyone
Yeah,
and
no,
send it to them.
I would like to introduce you to a friend of mine who has a TV podcast kind of deal going on out of Germany. Huge following. And you'd probably want to have an interview with you. I keep forgetting, Charles, that you're a DJ yourself.
Oh, yeah, sometimes. I mean, I have a radio show here back in Baltimore that's broadcast around the world. 97 Underground, but it's been around, I don't know, 38 years, I think, something like that, 38, 39 years now.
Yeah,
hard rock, heavy metal.
Yeah, you host the rock school, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
That's cool, my friend. That really, really is cool.
Actually, glad you reminded me. I have to do another episode tomorrow.
Oh, dear, I'm sorry, work.
I've been out here on vacation for so long, I forgot I have to do it.
Ah, dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, believe me, it's never a chore to do radio, my bro.
Then, will he?
No, it's fun.
Somebody says to me one day, if you enjoy your job, you'll never call it work. Well, you know something? I can't even call it enjoyment. It's elation to do this job. It's just such a good job to do. It really is. especially when I get to meet so many talented people from around the world, including Charles. You know?
Absolutely.
Including Charles. Charles, are you still doing the Kiss deal?
Oh yeah, we played that show. March 13th was the last show. First and that's the last show we've done. That was the first show that we did since the shutdown.
Okay.
So it was good to get back out. People were very excited about seeing that because it had been over a year since they got to see it. So definitely.
Very, very cool. How long did it take you to put on your makeup?
I can do it in about 45 minutes. The other guys take about 2 hours. I only have one eye. I have to draw the star. They have to do both eyes.
Yep, you got the Paul Stanley deal, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's easy. I'd hate to try and do the Gene Simmons one, to be honest. That would take a while. It would take a while. Or even Peter Criss, the cat.
They need a stencil made.
Yeah, airbrush
Spray
it.
it,
Airbrush it. Yeah, absolutely. What you need is your own airbrush artist to come along and just paint you.
That would be nice. I could get somebody to do it for me.
Yeah, exactly. Just squirt, and you're done. Put on the wig.
Exactly.
You've got the heels and everything, haven't you?
Yes.
I've seen it. It's, Barbara gets vertigo if she has anything over 2-inch heels.
Oh yeah. These are like 6 or 7 inch.
Exactly. Yeah, believe me, I'd be watching her falling all the time. She'd be going, "Oh my God, I'm vertigo." I've seen it before. I have. Let's go back to the desk. And how tight is that? Believe me, only just pushed the button. We're joined here at Galaxy 107.
Hang
Wow,
on.
that's bright,
No,
Barbara.
hang on. Yeah, hang
gosh.
on. I'll
She's
put it
turned
over
the
there.
light on me
No,
now.
I can get that
Charles,
off.
it's always a pleasure to catch up with you.
Soft.
I take it now that, you gave me a little hint that there's another secret file out there with music in it that you might or might not be contemplating on doing. Will you be coming back in the near future and releasing new music?
Oh sure, anytime you want me back, I'm here.
Well, it's always a pleasure to catch up with you. I'm sorry for reminding you about radio, though, and, a possible job that you have to do for 97 Underground, the rock school. He's the host of the rock school. Yeah, Barbara keeps putting these DJs up in front of me, if you know what I mean. I get very, very nervous at somebody else that does the job better than I can.
No, you're the best.
And somebody else said that. Somebody accused me.
It's a hobby for me.
Well, somebody accused me of being radio master just yesterday, literally, and I went, "Is that a nice way of saying I'm old?" I've been in the job too long. Believe me. Charles Parker, it is an absolute pleasure to have you. It really, really is. I hope you're going to be staying safe, even though you're lucky enough to be able to get out, get some work done, enjoy some entertainment. Believe me, we're all hanging out around the world to be able to do the exact same thing and get some parties happening. We really, really are. So, Charles, please take care. Take care of Willie for us, won't you?
Oh, I will.
Or should I be
right here behind me on the floor?
Should I be saying to Willie to take care of Charles?
Yeah, he might.
Yeah, just don't let him go anywhere near those hissing logs.
No logs, no alligators, none of that.
None of
I
that.
don't know, he's mean. He might eat the alligator.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm worried about. Apparently they might become an endangered species with Willie down there. I've seen him go running after stuff. I have in the past. I have. You left the door open one day, he was off. Yeah, he was. Charles, I've got to move on, unfortunately, but please stay there for a minute. We've got a couple of things. You know what we do after this.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, let's go back to the other studio. Here's Big Brothers at New Flow.
Ladies and gentlemen,